wait for my entrance. Oh, hang on. I can be more dramatic, buddy.
Hey!
Hi!
You can see if you want to. Let me see.
Hi, Olivia.
Hi.
Hi.
That's his friend.
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
What are you dressed up as?
As Poppy.
Of course. Look at that. You look amazing.
All right. She's going to kind of be in the background because Jessica's putting down Otis. So I gotta have the visual on her. You know, the tag team, obviously.
I just put our 2-year-old down, and the 4-year-old is hanging out watching versions of how it's made. I think they're looking at how apple juice is made today.
Oh, that show's so good.
Yeah. We feel like we're jumping in. Hi, everyone. Hi, friends. Thank you.
Right on.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and thank you for agreeing to be my first ever guest. You know,
yeah, no worries.
Try and chat about like how we're. I can't turn the drowns off. Hang on. There we go.
Well, I don't think you ever want to turn the drones off.
Pretty much never. How we're doing, like how we're getting through this. We're really happy to be teaming up with the Rock the Sofa team, which is part of the Pirates Press family.
Looks like I lost you there.
Pulling together all of the fantastic stuff that's going on around the internet for watching bands and staying in touch with folks. Yeah. What have you guys? I saw Brenna did a set, right? Your couple.
Yeah, she did. She did one where it was just kind of like, let's just have some fun and try this thing out, this whole digital concert show thing. And she did great. It was fun. It was very much who she is and who we are as a band. And then the second one was with S-BAM, which is this festival in Austria that they're super cool people. Stefan and his crew always take care of us. And they're doing like I don't know how it was curated because it was on Facebook and I watched it. And I think it was on theirs. I don't know if Brenna logs onto theirs or something, but it was on their Facebook. And she was doing just more like a solid set, just back to back, like questions here and there.
And we watched the first that she did. I watched it with my oldest and we loved it. She's
okay, cool.
Fun performer to watch, I think, and to hear her in her own house just being chatting and having a good time. It was really, I think that's something really special about the live streams that are going on right now. Like they do kind of feel like a kind of voyeuristic insight into people's lives or people's homes, like meeting everybody's dogs.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's really fun because we, you get to play a bunch of shows and meet a bunch of people, and then it's little snippets of life, and then now you get to see a little bit more of what's going on. Like, hey, this is kind of what we all do at home. We all we're all kind of in this together at the end of it all.
Yeah, and that's kind of why we wanted to start doing this kind of thing. Really, it's like, I mean, I think I said when we did the live yesterday talking about it, it's like I think as a scene, as a community, we do look for support from each other, and I think that we're there for each other in more aspects than just, hey, well, let's show up and go to shows together. And I think my experience, having been a parent now for 4 and a bit years, is that the punk parents I know, I learn so much from all the time.
Yeah.
Whether it's their approach or their suggestions or just seeing them at shows and it being an inspiration, So for me, this seemed like a natural kind of thing to do, is just kind of say, well, what are you doing at home with your kids? And how are you doing?
Yeah.
Into and how are you surviving? So that's kind of what we're doing. And I'd love you to share some of your family's kind of go-tos at the moment and what you guys are up to. That's kind of the plan.
Right on. Yeah, no, we it's going back to what you were saying about the punk community. Like, you know, you always, when you're younger, you always look to them for help because it was like your outside family, or, you know, for a lot of us, that is our family. And now it's kind of fun where we all have kids, and it's kind of like you're still doing the same thing. Like, hey, still kind of looking for support. Like, what are you, you know, what are you doing with kids that isn't the same old thing, or things we've even forgotten about? Um, like what I'm doing with Olivia lately is a lot of outside stuff that people forget about. Like, you know, the other day we bought these like mittens that have Velcro on them. I don't know if you ever played with those.
Well, the paddles we've got, yeah.
Yeah. That's what and then you have the tennis ball, and I'm like, this thing's so simple, but it's so much fun. And you know, we just kind of raided like the outdoor aisles of like, you know, Target and Walmart. Kites, you know, you name it, like all the old fun stuff. Kites are so cheap too. I thought kites were going to be like $15, and they're like, you know, anywhere between 3 to like 10. And I'm like, whoa, okay. I'm like, I would have gotten a kite a while ago for us, you know.
There's a big kite festival up here in Berkeley, like on the bay here
Oh,
every year,
really?
and it's just phenomenal. Like, and you drive past them, and it's just like the most like complicated. Like, you have to, all the physics you have to understand in order to like fly one of these things, you know.
Oh, really? Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, super complicated. We've been doing a lot of outside stuff as well. My son will tell you a list of like, and today I met 3 roly polies, 4 ladybugs, 4 run down it every day. But yeah, if I mean, like catching up with old stuff and like revisiting old stuff that you like haven't done in a while or haven't thought about in a while is definitely like something that I think a few different folks are doing. I've been out on my roller skates.
Oh, that's yeah, right. It's like I tell a lot of people, I'm like, especially in the music community, you know, we're constantly touring or constantly doing something busy that, you know, you're not mentally putting your family on the back burner or anything by any means necessary emotionally, but you know, physically you're splitting your time between two things. And right now, like, granted, it's really big bummer because we were actually gonna start doing a lot more stuff. You know, we had a couple festivals canceled, and you know, Mexico and all this stuff. So that was a bummer. But you know, I get to, you know, for the next, hopefully, you know, only a couple months, if it doesn't get too out of hand, get to hang out with like my family, you know, like it really be able to put things on pause. The band's still working remotely, you know, via email and, you know, writing and ideas, you know, going to, you know, doing the live streaming. Like, we're still super active, but it's kind of nice to be able to um, physically, you know, not have to be anywhere besides home. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to be here. I'm like, dude, I'm never home. I'm like, this is the best.
The longest time like spent at home in a while for you guys?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you know, absolutely. It's, you know, usually it'll be like, you know, a month has been the longest, but there'll still be shows in between. Like, it won't be full tours.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it'll still be like you can't just physically, you know, just put that on pause. I mean, not even practicing. I mean, we practice twice a week sometimes, and you know, that's still time out of my day that I can't be here. And I mean, granted, I miss practicing, but it's pretty fun, you know, definitely just being here and not having to be anywhere, like I said.
Yeah. It's I think that's definitely something a lot of people are feeling, whether they're away a lot or whether they're just out of the house a lot, you know, more than they usually are. And I think there's a lot of folks that I'm speaking to who are you know, really recognizing the privilege of like being able to be there and be there during like a time for their kids where it's like a real developmental stuff. Like my son,
Yeah.
like his speech is coming on leaps and bounds at the moment, and it's like, well, maybe that's because we're here and we hear more and talking to him more and
Yeah. No, exactly. I know what you mean. It's it's been really fun, just kind of, you know, I have a, not a newborn. He's 8 months now, but pretty much since he's been born, I haven't really been home that much. So like, this is the longest I've been able to hang out with him. So that's been really fun. You know what I mean? So, I mean, he sleeps a lot, but I mean, a lot of babies too.
yeah.
I
So
mean, I guess, yeah.
what are you guys enjoying doing then? What are you it's like you said about getting outside and, you know.
So Olivia's really into like dancing right now.
Okay.
So we have like Bluetooth speakers. So right now she's really on like the Trolls kick that because the new movie came out like a day ago, I
Yeah.
guess. So she's been listening to that, and we've just been outside like dancing. We have a lot of like land to play on, so we're throwing balls around. We got like things that fly up in the you name it. Like I said, we raided like
You really raid the Target outdoor toy aisle.
yeah, exactly. And then we got remote control cars, like you name it. But we are also doing, which I thought was really cool because a lot of people are doing this, at least here. We went to the board games and like the puzzles aisle, just like, okay, cool. It's been raining like crazy too, so let's do inside stuff. And a lot of that is gone. And I'm like, this is so cool because that means a lot of people are doing things other than video games. Which I'm, yeah. Which like I said, I think that's so cool.
Yeah, and it's definitely hard. It's an easy trap to fall into, I think, especially like when they start asking for it. Like, can I do one more episode of? And you're like, well, yeah, I guess, and then I can get some work done, or I can get this email written, like get this little thing done. But yeah, having to be really mindful of like not just surrendering them to the TV, I think, is definitely a constant struggle.
Yeah, one thing myself and Jessica have been also worried about is like the educational part too. It's like, okay, cool, like we can have fun, and being a kid being a kid, part of it is having a lot of fun, and that's like the number one thing, especially for me. So I'm like, all right, cool, let's have a ball. But we've been trying to find things as well. And thankfully we live in an age where it's like super, everything's digital. So you can download coloring books, you can download like even, teacher guides, or whatever. Like, this is what you do if, you have a kindergartner or, however old she is or he or she is. So that's been really helpful as well. We also just got this thing called Osmo for like the iPad, where it's super cool. It's like this thing where it teaches you, alphabets. Depending on how old your kid is, it goes up to like 9 years old, but it teaches you how to do alphabets, and like with certain shapes, make the letter, and then like make a drawing with it. It's super like high tech, but it's for kids and it makes it super fun. So she's doing a lot of that, and then like it goes as far as like coding, like teaching kids how to code.
That's awesome. Will you send me the name again, and when this is all done, we'll put out a list of like everything that you tell us today.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a great suggestion.
Yeah, so that's one thing we've been staying on, and then as far as like us as parents staying sane as well. As you can hear in the background, there's a lot of running that goes around. So we've been kind of bringing some fun cocktails to the mix for ourselves as well. So one thing. One of them that I've been doing is Stoli. Vodka is a Stoli vodka with there's this soda water that I drink called Waterloo. You can get it at Target. All the stuff is stuff you can get at Target too, which you're already going there for essentials anyways.
Yeah, whether you're a punk parent or not a punk parent, Target is still a big part of most.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So we get that, and I think I love Stoli because it's really good and it's affordable. It's like $18 for a bottle, and it's not like pop off or whatever. And I do grapefruit Waterloo club soda. So then that way, you got your grapefruit and your soda water in there at one, with like a little garnish of lemon, just to make it fancy.
Nice.
Simple but good.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other night. Yeah.
Cuts through all of the like background noise of the running and the general like toddler chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. When we when we have a minute to start watching a movie, we'll go do that. Or I started getting kind of bringing back what was my wife saying, that kind of bringing it old school. And we went out and got gummy worms for our daughter, and I was like, let's get the extra big bag because I'm gonna want some too. Why not? And I was like, well, I have that bottle of vodka as well, and I have these gummy worms. So I don't know if you ever did this when you were younger, but
Yeah.
soak the gummy worms into the vodka. So, we I call it, oh no, we call it the twofer, because you get the gummy worms for your kids, and then you have a little bit extra for your vodka.
We used to use Skittles in vodka. Like,
Oh, that's always good too.
always like comes off, and it's I mean it's basically science for kids, right? Like what Skittles dissolve.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, and then this is the spicy water, so you don't want this.
Yeah, this is
Uh,
it's like referring to everything as mummy's beer, like even if it's not, like, oh, there's mummy's beer, there's mummy's beer. Mummy's beer.
So what have you guys been up to? If you don't mind me asking, what have you guys been up to?
I mean, it's been different week to week and like day to day. Like we're about a month in now in the Bay Area, so
Oh yeah.
It's kind of settled a little bit. Our daughters are at preschool, and they've been doing some Zoom meetings, and they've been doing some pre-recorded videos and stuff, which is great. I haven't suggested maybe a toddler cocktail hour, but I think I might feed that into the parents' suggestion box. Like,
Right, yeah. Oh man.
Yes.
But yeah.
Like, this is the anatomy of a lemon. If you cut it this way, it's a nice slice for a gin and tonic. If you cut it
Right, exactly. Be responsible and be neat.
skills, man, life skills.
But that's yeah, because that's right. You guys have been kind of more on a lockdown than us, right? Up there.
Yeah, it's and even before it was like official, it was I think the Bay Area counties were pretty they moved pretty fast, So it's kind of finding a groove now, I think, a little bit. There's like an online music class that my kids like that we do once a week. And then the rest of it is kind of just getting outside, and we kind of have to break up the day with dance parties though.
Yeah, oh, you have to, absolutely.
If someone calls like, okay, let's play freeze dance, everyone kind of drops what they're doing. And we put something on. I don't know, like if that's probably my advice to everyone, is like if everyone's getting a bit like energy raised, needs to get some energy out, put some MC Hammer on.
Yeah, oh, MC Hammer, I like it. Yeah, no, it's very much needed. Dancing, I've noticed that it's vital during this quarantine time with the kids, because it tires them out, and just like you said, just if they have that burst of energy, it's all right, well, dance it out, even as an adult. Oh, something happened, dance it out.
Is there a go-to track for your house that's like it's a feel-good track for everybody gets their groove on, everybody's having a bop?
As of right now, like I said, the Trolls World Tour soundtrack is where it's at. That's where it's at. But they have a mixture of a lot of fun stuff in there.
Not terrible.
Yeah. So it's I mean, I'm sure you've noticed this, how they've made kids movies a little bit more fun for adults as well.
Yeah.
So we watched it the other day too, and there's some really funny parts in that movie. But the music is kind of like the old 80s, and they have some old rock, like got Black Sabbath in it and stuff. So it's not terrible kids type, like kids bop type thing. I think Cyndi Lauper's in it, obviously. So
there's a good balance between like the stuff that's there for the adults. I mean, I think that's what they're smart about doing for kids movies anyways, with like the humor. But it's good to do that for the music as well. I think that's a smart tie-in, makes it bearable for everybody.
Yeah, and if it's not that, she's been on a David Bowie kick pretty much since we started getting her into David Bowie, like since I think December or something like that, a little bit before that. So she'll sit there, and she has like this fake guitar her grandpa bought her, that like she'll sit there and play guitar to that, and then obviously the dancier songs, will get up and dance to those. The guitar will go flying across the room.
Nice. A favorite David Bowie song?
I don't know. I mean, it's probably between Suffragette City and Ziggy Stardust. Kind of more on the rock side, which is pretty cool.
Okay, so my 4-year-old's favorite song is Ground Control to Major Tom, which it is a great song, but like it's so not what you'd expect a 4-year-old to find her groove to, but she's into it.
Yeah, that's what makes David Bowie special. There's always something in it for everybody.
Yeah, and I think as a rule, like kids, their justification for stuff is often not what you'd expect.
Yeah,
Why are you eating that worm? I thought it looked like something that I could eat. Yeah, sure, okay. Why?
yeah.
Because it looks like paper. No, like yeah.
No, those are the best. The random conversations, that I've noticed too, being home a lot is she, we were outside, and then after they get tired, they just start rambling about random things. I love that. That's seriously my favorite. She's just like the clouds. They're just moving, and I'm just like, yeah. I'm like, they're just moving. I love it. You know.
The wisdom, like out of babes.
Yeah, it's I love having kids because it gives me, I tell people this a lot. It's like, oh, before I used to do like weird things in public, like whether it's like, or I wouldn't say weird, but childish things. And now I have an excuse. I'm like, oh yeah, I did it because my kid's right over there. I pretended to have magic powers to open the door because like my kid was here, not because I do that anyways. You know.
Yeah, it's an excuse to like cartwheel down the street or like
Randomly yell and sing like, oh, and she'd be like, I know that song, I'm gonna sing it too, and I'm like, yes.
Brilliant. Love it.
Yeah.
My kids have there's obviously like quite a lot of cock sparrow in our house generally.
Yeah, definitely.
They've kind of taken a while to like really like granddad's music, but
Okay.
the last couple of weeks it's just been like asking for Argy Bargy constantly. But my son will do like a mashup, so he'll sing Argy Bargy jingle all the way. Bargy. And I was just like, I'm so pleased I'm here to hear this.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Because when he's a grown up, I'm going to say to him, guess what you used to think the words were?
Yeah, right. No, that's so funny that it's taken them a second, but I mean, it's what you would expect. I don't know. What is it? Dave Grohl says the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, my kids don't even like my music. I'm like, hey, you're in the Foo Fighters and you're in Nirvana. Like, that's cool. It's like, yeah.
Do your kids like your music? Or does Livia like your music?
Oh, she does. She's pretty fascinated with everyone in the band too, like playing instruments. She loves, like, they're our family. So it's like they're like, that's like her aunt and her uncles. So they love that, and she's fascinated with Brenna singing and guitar playing and the drums and everything. I don't know exactly what she is but she likes listening to it, and she'll sing the songs, and and she'll know, like, I'll play her some of the demos of the newer stuff. She'll be like, this is The Last Gang, and I'll be like, you're my child, I love you right now.
Yes, represent.
Yeah. So yeah, so she's into it. I don't, Otis, I don't know yet. He's only 8 months old, but I have a feeling that Olivia is going to be a little bit more into it than he is, because I introduced her into music a little bit earlier than him. But we'll see.
All right. Well, I mean, dude, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Sunday and chatting with us. And thanks for being my first one of these.
Yeah, no worries.
Nice to have a friendly face. Have you got any like last message that you want to send out there to other punk parents? Any words?
The one thing I would definitely say is just spend as much time with the can as the kids. There's times where like, yeah, like I don't have hair, but I want to pull out my own hair, but you got to remember that, when you go back to work and all this blows over, you're going to want like a week straight with your kids. You're going to be like, oh, great. Like with me, all I have is pretty much the morning and bedtime. That's all I got with them, So you got to remember that, all the parents that want to rip their hair out and all that fun stuff is this is the time that counts.
Sure. So true. So true. Well, listen, thank you again for your Sunday. We appreciate it very much. And yeah.
Right on. Hey, Chris. Sorry, I just saw Chris Sherry say hi.
Hey, Chris. We're talking to Chris in just about half an hour. So go, people go do what you need to do. Come back at 1:30, where I'm going to be joined by punk artist and general all-round legend, nice guy, Chris Sherry. And we're going to be, again, talking about punk parenting and surviving this pandemic as parents and as punks and, as a community. Thank you again, Robert from Nice Gang.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Take care, folks. Bye.